What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger, my friends. Y'all know the vibes. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Now, as y'all are all aware, South Carolina was not given the number one overall seed in the tourney, and it's definitely ruffled some feathers. Straight up, y'all, the NCAA done pissed Don Staley off, and they got these South Carolina Gamecocks more motivated than maybe any team she's ever coached. It looks like it's about to get scary, and for the rest of the field, hey, man, good luck to you.
My reaction? I mean, I'm not in the room, but obviously I think we did much more than probably any other overall number one seed. We outdid ourselves even from last year with the amount of quality wins that we had. But I guess the committee was looking at something else.
What thoughts on the draw and the possible matchups?
Whether we were the number one overall seed or not, the draw is the draw. I mean, we're going to play each game like it's our last, and hopefully that leads us to a place hopefully everybody in this room wants us to be. I mean, we're going to play it. Obviously it's disappointing. It really is. I'd like to get some feedback on how they came to that conclusion, because we manufactured a schedule that, if done right, it should produce the overall number one seed. But I will say this: we're going to make adjustments to our schedule in the future if the standard is the standard. If that's the standard, then we can play any schedule and get a number one seed.
Listen, Don is not playing. And for one thing I want to say, man, I hope this doesn't take away. I know they got a big game against USC for the real USC next year. They're already stacking that schedule. I hope this doesn't rob us of just incredible regular season competition. But, man, it was some baloney. It was Bush League that they were not rewarded for the strength of schedule when we are talking so much about these quad one wins and how much they mean. And you go through the gauntlet and come out with a couple of chinks on the armor for sure, but pretty much for the most part you come back walking stronger than before. And UCLA played a weaker schedule and still was rewarded, man. Hey, what's done is done. We're not here to focus on that. My focus now is on this bracket, man, because South Carolina, of course, UNC 3 seed, Duke 2 seed, Oregon State's over there. Some good bumps, some good competition. I'm telling y'all right now, though, South Carolina is about to run through this bracket, man. This might be the most focused team. The NCAA just lit a straight fire under South Carolina, bro. They are ready for war. They are ready to make a point. In that first game, I'm expecting it to get absolutely ugly. Like, I don't think we're going to see many slow starts. This team is going to come out firing on all cylinders. They were already playing great basketball, peaking at the right time through the SEC tournament. But I still feel like this team has another gear that they could hit, which is absolutely scary. And the fact that they feel snubbed, South Carolina coming in with a chip on their shoulder, oh, man, that is bad news, bad business for the rest of this field. I'm telling you right now, this team is coming on a mission, man. They are focused like never before. There's a fire that's been lit, and they're coming out to prove a point, man. When you talk about strength of schedule and the talent that this team has, the growth that they've shown from a team that was turning it over, that wasn't shooting it well, from a team that really didn't have an offensive identity, to a team now led by Chloe Kitts, SEC Tournament MVP, Malaysia Fulwiley 6th Player of the Year in the conference. When you think about super freshman Joyce Edwards as well, Raven Johnson, Breezy Hall, the senior, Sanaya Fagan playing incredible basketball, just being overall leaders for this team on both sides of the ball. It doesn't always show up in the box score, the scoring, but the defense, the leadership, the communication, the stability that these three seniors have provided is invaluable, man. You really can't put a stat or a number on what they bring to this locker room on and off the court. And then, I mean, just Tahina Pau also mentioned with that group as well, man. Super senior that has been one of the most consistent players, knockdown three-point shooter since day one of joining South Carolina, has been an immediate impact player. Helped turn once, which was a weakness, the shooting the basketball, into a strength. I think she is going to have a big tournament as well. I think Chloe Kitts is going to dominate, become a household name. I talked about that in a previous video, but I think Tahina Pau, Tessa Johnson, tournament Tessa, don't let her get loose. I think these two are definitely going to be counted on to continue to take and make big shots, and I think they're going to be zone busters. If you try to pack that lane, Pau, Tessa Johnson, Breezy Hall, Full Wiley will light it up. I'm expecting them to come out and pressure the basketball. The defense will be relentless. They are going to come in and completely want to dominate the competition. And y'all, I'm telling you right now, don't let them see UCLA again. Do not let them see them Bruins on the menu again, or it's gonna be trouble, man. I love Lauren Betts' game. She's a very talented player. UCLA is a deep team. They were deserving of the 1 seed in their own right as well. Like, this is not to slander them. Kiki Rice is incredible. London shoots the ball extremely well. You got Jaquez out there, just super athletic, versatile forward. Duglic as well out there, size everywhere for this team. Arnsalo, a really good point guard, freshman out of Finland for this team. Tamia Gardner, I think Janiyah Barker's a first-round pick. Like, there's some, and USC as well, Texas as well. Like, there are some great teams in this tournament that will push this team to the test. But when you're talking about a motivated South Carolina team that feels like they genuinely have a point to prove, I'm telling you right now, man, it's going to be some skeletons being collected because the Grim Reapers is coming through, man. I think this might have been the jolt South Carolina needed. Not saying that they needed any motivation, because if the NCAA tournament doesn't get you up and ready, if defending your title, knowing that you got a target on your back, doesn't get you ready, nothing else will. But in this case, it seems like the NCAA definitely added fuel to the fire. Was it intentional? I don't know, but I agree with Coach Staley, man. They kind of, I think, were disrespected a bit in this drawing, to be honest with you, man. I think they got a really good path to the Final Four, though. Definitely not the toughest bracket, but for their strength of schedule, their quad 1 wins against AP top 25 teams, when you've beaten multiple number 1 seeds, when, like, you know what I'm saying, like, they've I don't want to say beaten multiple number 1 seeds, because they just beat Texas, but when you've beaten multiple conference champions, multiple top 10 teams, multiple top 25 teams, like, that needs to be taken into account when you're making decisions like these. And how will it impact scheduling in the future? Will South Carolina play a weaker schedule in the non-conference, knowing that they don't have to go strictly through the gauntlet and overdo themselves like Don Staley said? They could play a normal schedule, couple of ranked teams, couple of good regular season tournaments, preseason tournaments, and then go through the gauntlet of the SEC, which is arguably the toughest conference in women's hoops on the college side. Like, they're seeing that, you know, there might not be, other than obviously the upside of being battle tested and seeing a lot of the top 10 teams and being put in different scenarios to prepare you for these moments in March and April. Other than that, though, maybe there isn't a whole lot of upside, man, to playing these big time games back to back to back in one regular season. Now, for the fans and the fan in me, I definitely want to continue to see these big games, and I hope more teams take South Carolina's approach and not duck smoke and schedule some of these tough non-conference games so we can see some of the biggest stars and the brightest programs go at it in the regular season. I'm a firm believer, man, iron sharpens iron, so I'm hoping that this decision doesn't impact that, because South Carolina is definitely paving the way and setting the mark and the standard in women's college hoops right now. But obviously a bad taste was left in the program's mouth after not receiving that overall 1 seed. So I'm expecting them to come out motivated, putting belts to rumps and smacking heads in this NCAA tournament for sure. Y'all just woke up a sleeping giant. Y'all just gave a team that didn't need more fuel, more motivation, even more motivation. It's about to get spooky out here, but I'm excited for the tournament. A lot of great teams, a lot of great talent, and we will definitely keep you updated with all the latest and the greatest. Make sure to go check out the channel with previous videos talking about my 5 breakout players that I think will be household names after this tournament. We'll have more content throughout the week and throughout the tournament as well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This has been the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff, and join our memberships. We got exclusive content daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Follow us on social media as well, at Brandon Lee TV on all platforms. Until next time, my people. We out.